Gives you the formula, m equals 3x squared minus nx, and it gives us some values. So this is purely about substitution and using your calculator. So the very first thing we need to do is to take that, replace the letters with the numbers. So we've got 3 lots of minus 2 squared minus n is 5 lots of minus 2. If you're going to do this on a calculator paper, you'd be crazy to not type it into your calculator. So we'll do 3 times in brackets, use the negative button, not the subtraction button. Negative 2, close brackets, and it's that's squared. Then we do minus 5 times negative 2. Okay. My prediction on this is that it'll be 12 plus 10 is 22. Yep, done. Okay, that becomes 12 plus 10 equals 22. They give you marks for typing into a calculator that, and it's 2 marks. Job done. On to question 2. Question 2. It tells you that mortar mix is made by mixing cement, sand and quicklime, C, S, Q, in the ratio 1 to 2 to 3. Work out the volume of sand needed to make 2.1 cubic meters of the mortar mix. The mortar mix is the whole thing, isn't it? The mortar mix is the whole total. They're asking you to make 2.1 in total. And they want to know what the sand would be, this part here. So 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts. And they're saying that the whole lot is 2.1. So we need to do 2.1 divided by the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. 2.1 divided by 6 is what we need to do. Calculator, 2.1 divide 6 equals 0.35. Okay, so that's 0.35 cubic meters. This is 0.35, this is 0.35, this is 0.35. They wanted the sand, this bit here, 2 lots of 0.35 cubic meters is 0.7 cubic meters. So we had to recognise it was the whole part they were giving us that was the 2.1. And because it was decimal, we had to be very careful with that. That's why. Okay, so part 2 of the question. It says Julie has 0.75 cubic meters of quicklime. She has plenty of sand and cement. What's the greatest volume of the mortar mix she can make? All right, so it's quite wordy, isn't it? We've got CSQ, and that was in the ratio 1 to 2 to 3. And they're telling us that her quicklime here is equivalent to 0.75. Now that's 3 parts, isn't it? The 3 parts are worth 0.75. So 0.75 divided by 3 is 0.25. That means that 1 part is 0.25. Now they want the greatest volume of the mortar mix. The mortar mix, the total thing, is the 6 parts, isn't it? The total. So if 1 part is 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. 6 parts, each at 0.25, so we just need to do 6 times 0.25. And the calculator in my head tells me that's 1.5. Okay. Done. Question 2. A standard issue question on ratio, sharing and splitting and working with, but written in a real life way that made it confusing for some of us about mortar mix and what's what. As long as you get the 1, the 2, the 3, and you know which bit they're giving you, is it the total or is it one of the parts? It's just like our normal questions with money. But as you can see, real life situations can be a little confusing. Question 3. Just like we've seen before, This is an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangles, as you know, have two equal legs, and at the end of the equal legs, they have two equal feet. So in this information, what we need to take from this is equal to this. It is a question where you form and solve an equation. So 3x plus 32 is equal to 87 minus 2x. We've now formed a very simple grade 3 equation. The forming it was the tricky bit. Now the solving it is child's play. So we want our x's on the left because they're the most of them. We want our numbers on the right. 3x is okay. Plus 32 shouldn't be here. So we send it to the other side where it becomes minus 32. 3x equals 87, take 32, type it in your calculator, says 55 minus 2x. Okay, x is on the left, happy for the moment. Over on the right, numbers, happy with the 55. Don't like the minus 2x being on the right. Bring it over to the left where it becomes plus 2x. We now have 5x equals 55. This is the penultimate line. One more thing to do. Isolate the x on its own. It's been multiplied by 5. Send the 5 to the other side where it divides. You get x equals 55 over 5, also known as 11. Check the question though. What do they want? They want the value of x. They didn't ask for the size of the angle. Okay, they might have done. That's why we check the question to find out what they actually wanted. Job done. Forming and solving equations. Nice and simple, given to us as a geometric problem. This video stops now. There'll be a new video for questions 4, 5 and 6.